So we as people know that in order to live an actual fruitful life, you have to have a balance of some movement and nutrition. But when you're like me and have a chronic illness, where do you start with that stuff? Hi, my name is Ryan and I have something called small fiber neuropathy, which is a nerve disease that affects my entire body, and it doesn't look like it, but it hurts a little bit right now. And when I was first diagnosed, I knew I needed to get my nutrition and my exercise dialed in if I was going to be able to manage this stuff. But I honestly had no clue where to look. Whoa, totally famous, world-renowned, workout jacked Jeff Huffman, is that you? We were supposed to do a sketch, but I guess that's out the window or whatever. So I guess, Jeff, what I'm asking is, what are the top 5 tips you would give to someone dealing with chronic illness when it comes to nutrition and exercise on a basic level?
Yeah, so if someone is starting a new training and nutrition program and they haven't really done anything before and they have chronic pain, the concept really isn't going to change that much from somebody who doesn't have chronic pain. I might touch on a few things in particular that you might want to focus on to help kind of subside the pain a little bit. That way we can keep that as far down as we can. That way you can focus on hitting your goal, whatever it is, the best you can, and reach that goal much faster. At the crux of it, it's not going to vary. It's really not going to vary at all. Starting off with number 1 and number 2, I'm going to kind of group these two together. And if you ever work with me, no matter what your goal is, you're never going to hear the end of it. So the first thing, no matter what you're trying to do, you want to make sure that you're getting in an adequate amount of protein. Now, why do we want to get protein in? Well, protein is what's going to be the key to building muscle mass. Now, why might someone with chronic pain want to build muscle mass? If you've ever seen someone, Ryan, if I can use you for an example here, someone who is, especially if they're rather tall and skinny, they don't have a lot of mass on them, they're more susceptible to injury, especially with the tendons, like in the knees and the Achilles, elbows, whatever. They don't have that muscle mass around them to protect those tendons and those ligaments, so they're much injury prone to injury. Same with the bones too. Again, there's not as much muscle around that area, so the bones are a lot more likely to get injured and messed up as well. But if over time you can build strength and build that muscle mass, get that muscle surrounding the ligaments, the tendons, and the bones, they're going to be much more protected, and it's going to help to dumb down that pain a significant amount. So, like Ryan, I know you're trying to build on size yourself, and like we've been talking the last couple of weeks, which you seem to be putting on weight as well, that's awesome. Keep up the great work. But I'm sure that you've noticed, as the more muscle mass that you build, as the more size you put on, you're noticing that chronic, especially the chronic pain, it's going to start to die down just a little bit. If you got this condition, it's going to be there, but building that muscle mass, you're at least going to be protecting those ligaments, those nerves, the tendons, and even the bones a hell of a lot more. So get your protein in. No matter what your goal is, get your protein in. Now, if you're a female, get at least 20 grams of protein in every single one of your meals. If you're a male, get at least 30 grams of protein. Ideally, you want to shoot for 1 gram of protein per desired body weight. So, I, being 225 pounds, I want to shoot for at least 225 grams of protein total every single day. Now, depending on what your goal is really trying to build up or cut down, we can dive into that at a later time. So, get your protein in. Now, how do we build that muscle mass with the protein that we're taking in? This ties into point number 2. This is where strength training comes into play. And now this is going to sound weird. In order to actually build the muscle mass, you actually have to tear it down via any form of resistance training. So now I'm not talking about going out a little Sunday stroll for some light cardio, a light walk or something like that. I'm talking about like actual resistance training where you're putting a strain, you're putting resistance on the muscles. So say I get down on the floor here, I start pumping out some push-ups, I'm doing some bicep curls, I'm doing some squats, what have you. It's causing tension on the muscles, and it's actually causing them I'm creating little micro traumas, little tears in the muscles. So if you've ever seen anybody working out before, say I'm doing some bicep curls. When I'm doing some bicep curls in the gym, you're going to notice that my arms are going to appear a little bit bigger. That's because you're getting that pump going. Blood is actually flowing to that body part that you're working out, and that's actually going to cause the muscle to kind of expand a little bit, kind of tear apart like that, kind of become inflamed a little bit. That's what it's going to do. Once you're done with your workout, you want to make sure that you're flooding your body with the nutrients that it needs, very fast digesting carbs. You want to make sure that you're getting protein very quick after your workout as well. When your muscles are, let me get this kind of expanded out a little bit, your body's ready to accept those nutrients. Your body's been torn down and it kind of needs to come back down and repair itself, kind of stitch itself up. If you enter the nutrients in there, specifically protein, those nutrients are going to go in there while the muscle is kind of relaxing and going down, and the protein is going to go in there and it's actually going to feed that muscle. So it's actually going to stop it from going down, and that's what's actually going to allow that muscle to, kind of stay bigger. It's going to allow the muscle to grow. Tear that muscle down, and then you want to build it back up by feeding yourself protein. All right, so point number 3, and I can't stress this one enough, you have to get your micronutrients in. What do I mean by micronutrients? Well, basically, I'm going to be your parent here. You have to eat your fruits and vegetables. We all know that it's common sense that fruits and veggies have a ton of vitamins and minerals that our body needs, but a lot of us really don't know why. Why do we need those vitamins and minerals? Well, if we don't get those micronutrients in, our body's gonna have a real tough time processing literally anything else that goes on with our body. Basically, what that equates to is that your body's going to have a tough time breaking down and utilizing the macronutrients, your proteins, carbs, and fats, much more efficiently. To put this in simpler terms, our body kind of operates in sort of a checklist on how to deal with things going on. So, task number 1, get all the little vitamins and minerals that we need to perform, just to make sure everything in our body is functioning normally. Cool, we got that done. Now we can focus on utilizing the food that we're taking in and utilize that food to what it's actually meant to be utilized for. Now, once we got that covered, because we got all of our micronutrients in, the vitamins and minerals from our fruits and veggies, and we're getting our protein and carbs in, and our body can utilize those to the best of its ability, once we got all that covered, our body can then turn its attention to whatever's going on. So say, Ryan, for your instance, you got the chronic pain, you got the pain going on, our body can then focus on dealing with that pain just solely based on the fact that we have all the other nutrients covered. Now, I totally understand that nobody wants to sit there and eat vegetables. They're boring as okay? I totally understand. Fruits are a little bit better. They're higher in sugars, which may not be the most ideal thing. We can dive into that at a later time too. But basically, if you're having a tough time getting to fruits and vegetables, ideally, I like to shoot for at least 10 servings of fruits and veggies a day. Nobody really does that. I'll give you a story here. So I even tried doing that. I tried hitting the entire spectrum of veggies that I needed on a daily basis. And we did the math on this too. But you had to spend close to $200 a week on fresh fruits and veggies just to hit that entire spectrum. One, that I'm not spending all that money on some fruits and veggies. I'm not doing it. I did spend $50. I did spend $50. I tried it for 2 weeks. A lot of it went to waste. It's just not feasible to get everything that we need. Do the best you can. Try to get as many colors in as you can. But if you want to make sure that you're completely covered, I would strongly recommend taking a daily vitamin. Now, what kind of vitamins do you want to look for? Because we know we had the Flintstone vitamins growing up and stuff like that. What do you want to shoot for? So wherever you get your vitamins, wherever you get them, I like to do the shake test when it comes to the vitamins. So basically, how you do this is if you go to your store, go to your local store like a Walgreens or Costco, wherever you go, do the shake test. What I mean by that is if you go up to the bottle and you shake it, and it sounds it sounds really hard, and you can hear like rocks shaking in there, kind of like the Flintstone vitamins. You want to avoid those. Why? Well, those vitamins are encased in a wax coating, which your body really can't break through. But if you go to your local store and you go up to the bottle and you shake something like that, it kind of sounds like a soft thud. Those are going to be gel capsules. That's what you want to shoot for, because your body can easily break through the gel that's in there and absorb all those nutrients. And a daily multivitamin, it's going to cover your entire spectrum of vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So again, once your body has all those needs covered, your body can then focus on utilizing the food that you take in, break that down and utilize it more efficiently. Once all that is covered, your body can then turn its attention to anything that's out of whack. So stuff like pain, it'll help out tremendously with that. All right, so the next one here, if you're not doing so already, adding in about 2 to 4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, it's going to bring numerous benefits to you. And I can speak from personal experience, because I sometimes get a real bad sciatic nerve pain. If you've ever had that, it's absolutely terrible. If you don't know what it is, just go Google it. It's not a fun time. But basically, I can't bend down to tie my shoes. I'm walking around with a limp, and I wouldn't be able to sit here right now when it acts up. It's just flat out miserable. But the reason you want to consume omega-3 fatty acids is that their benefits are often overlooked. The 3 big things that they focus on, they are great for your heart health, decreasing blood pressure. So if you have high blood pressure, help decrease that, get some of those healthy fats in. It's great for the nervous system and that healthy wiring of the brain, boosting cognitive function. That is always fun, and I can speak from personal experience. Since I've been eating 3 to 5 servings of wild-caught fish, I love salmon, and I'm just awesome at cooking at it. Since I've been doing that for the last couple months and getting those additional fats in, I have noticed that I have been, just more alert and just more with it, for lack of a better term. And the big one being that for those of you with chronic pain is that omega-3 fatty acids actually greatly decrease inflammation. Inflammation is what causes pain. Some inflammation is good, and we actually get a lot of that from omega-6 fatty acids. Now, what's the difference between the two? Well, like I said, omega-3 fatty acids decrease inflammation. Omega-6s promote inflammation. Now, some pro-inflammatory responses are good. Our body becomes inflamed. So say we hurt ourselves. Say we kind of pull a muscle a little bit. Okay, so it becomes inflamed. We feel pain. It sends a signal to us to say, hey, take it easy. We need to do some work here. We need to heal. Unfortunately, it sucks because, it hurts. So now what do omega-3s do? Omega-3s do the opposite. They decrease that inflammatory response. So once that inflammation goes down, our body can then heal itself faster. So, Ryan, in your case, if you're dealing with that constant nerve pain, or any of you with chronic pain, say someone has sciatica like myself. Whenever I get sciatica, when I wasn't taking omega-3s, when I wasn't eating a ass ton of fish, okay, when I wasn't doing that, it took about 10 days for that inflammation to go down and finally heal. Now that I have those omega-3s, I have those flowing through my body right now. It actually flared up a couple months ago, and the inflammation was gone in like 2 to 3 days, as opposed to 10, just because my body had those omega-3s in me, so it could quickly it could get the nutrients from the omega-3s and be like, oh, okay, cool, inflammation can go down, we can start healing, we're good, pain went away, we are good to go. So, long story short, you want to keep that pain down, you want to keep that inflammation down. That inflammation is what causes pain. So omega-3s can help decrease that inflammation, help your body, get back to a normal state, pain-free, or if you have chronic pain, as pain-free as you can possibly get. Now, how do you get omega-3 fatty acids? Well, the easiest way to do that is, like I said, 3 to 5 servings of wild-caught fish every single week. Almost nobody does that, and if you do that, that's impressive, because it's very, very hard to do. And like I said, you want to make sure that you get it from wild, not farmed, wild-caught fish. Farm-raised fish, they're fed very poor diets that are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Too much omega-6 fatty acids, basically everything becomes inflamed. Ideally, you want to have a balance between the omega-6 and omega-3s. Well, on average, the average Westerner consumes about, the ratio is about 16 to 1 from omega-6 to omega-3s. That's a lot of inflammation and not so much non-inflammation, or inflammation going down. I can't think of the word right now. Sorry, I've been short on sleep the last couple days. That's actually going to tie into my next point too. If things become too inflamed from the foods that we eat, if we're constantly consuming pro-inflammatory diets, getting those omega-6 fatty acids in excess, that's going to lead to higher blood pressure, too much blood clotting. Some blood clotting is good because that's how we stitch ourselves up. But too much of that is bad. You get clogged arteries, and it just leads to a number of issues, stuff like cancer, heart disease. But you balance that out with the omega-3s, you're much less likely to run into those issues. So get 2 to 4 grams of omega-3 fatty acids, and you can get that from 3 to 5 servings of wild-caught fish every single week. If you can't get to wild-caught fish every single week, I get it. It can get expensive. Look into a fish oil supplement. You want to look for a high EPA and DHA ratio. Ideally, at least 700 EPA and 400 DHA in your fish oil supplement. The higher, the better. That's what you're paying for in a fish oil supplement. Get your omega-3 fatty acids in. It'll help a lot. Decrease that inflammation. Less inflammation means less pain. You recover faster. I say that's good. All right, so my last point here, and I'm going to be a little bit of a hypocrite here because what I just said a second ago. Make sure that you're resting and recovering properly. Especially when it comes to sleep, because sleep is where our body recovers. Sleep is where we build muscle. And again, like I said, touching back to point number 1, we build more muscle, combined with that strength training, that'll put more mass on, and it'll help protect those tendons, ligaments, and bones, and it'll help the pain subside a little bit. So get your rest, help your body recover. Wake up feeling much more fresh, ready to attack the next day. When it comes to like chronic pain and stuff like that, depending on where the pain area is, my go-to is always massaging it out. Say you got pain in the hands here, just give yourself a little nice hand massage, or go to an expert and actually have them massage your hand for you. I've actually had that recommended to me like numerous times. I got a place like literally right up the road, and I've never gone to it. But say with my sciatica, or if I had a heavy back workout, my back's probably gonna be hurting the next day from the muscles kind of knotting up. So what I'll do, I am a big fan of using a foam roller, giving myself a self massage. So what that's gonna do, it's gonna basically help roll that muscle and those the tendons and basically literally everything back here. It's gonna roll everything out, kind of smooth everything out, kind of break up all those knots, so it'll hurt a lot less a little bit later in the day or even the morning when I wake up. Stuff with nerve issues and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of, and this ties back into my sciatic pain. CBD. CBD has been a lifesaver for me. Basically took my pain from, a 12 and dropped it down to maybe a 6 or a 7 to where I could at least function. So, Ryan, if you're suffering, if you have nerve issues in your fingers or like wherever you're having it, rubbing some CBD in there, that'll help decrease inflammation in there as well, kind of get things in there to calm down a little bit. It'll help out with that as well. And I saw you were doing the red light therapy and stuff like that. I'm all for that as well. Basically, if you find anything to relax, whatever hurts, it's probably a good thing. If you can relax it and it feels natural, I say go for it. It probably is. Now, if you're doing some weird where it's just like, oh my god, this feels unnatural, but someone said it would help, that's probably not a good way to do it. So say if I up my elbow and they're telling me to like do this with my elbow, just because they said it helps more, and no, this doesn't feel right. No, I'm not going to do that because that's just going to it up even more. Like I said, there's tons of methods out there. The easiest ones that I like to go to, I like going to just like massaging it out, whatever hurts. And just again making sure you're getting an adequate amount of rest too, so your body can recover overnight while you sleep. And CBD cream, I like to use a cream. If you want to use a gel, if you just want to take drops and stuff like that, get it into your system. That helps a lot too. I use that as well. So many different avenues of approach you can go to, but those would be my top 3: sleep, massaging it out. Okay, I'll throw some stretching in there too. Just kind of help relax the muscle out. You feel a little tight. Just nice, easy stretch. Nothing outrageous. Just enough to loosen it up a little bit. You can do stuff like that as well. But that's pretty much it. I tried to keep this as short as I could. This one a little bit longer than what I thought, and this wasn't even me going into detail, because I could go into extensive detail about any number one of these things. So, like, if you want to go into more detail about anything that we talked about here today, man, I'd be more than happy to, because like I said, I mean, this isn't even the tip of the iceberg of like when it comes to this stuff. But trying to keep it relatively simple. I hope all of that made sense. And if you guys want to ask me any questions personally, I got my Instagram, Twitter. Shoot me a message on literally any of those. I mean, my job literally all day long, I'm touching up with people, so I will see it. I'll see it. So don't hesitate to do that. Plus, if you're a gamer too, follow me on Twitch too. If you like the video games, follow me on Twitch. My Twitch username is literally my first and last name. But yeah, that's pretty much it. No, I want to say appreciate you again for having me, man.
And now, while Jeff gave some really good advice as far as nutrition exercise goes, I highly implore you to talk to a physical therapist, your doctor, before implementing any of the things that he suggested or I ever suggest, because everybody is at a different place with their chronic illness and healing, but they're definitely something that you should look into and do. If you like this video, please subscribe and hit me up on Instagram if you want to talk at Ryan Mitchell Brown, and I'll see you guys in the next video.